Oh, there we go again.
Mhm.
Oh, we are live. I didn't even know we were live. Oh, we've got a nice kitty cat today. Yeah, the we're sorry, but our stream did something weird, and I did not realize we were live. So, welcome. I'd like to welcome our guest, Luke Brewer. Uh,
Yay.
and I'd also like to introduce, since we're doing things in a weird order today, Marcia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Well, we're just going to go ahead, Marcia. I'm going to let you start so I can figure out what did and did not work. So,
Okay. Well, we are thrilled to have Luke Brewer, who is an extremely versatile, funny, serious, talented uh, actor, and so many other talents that hopefully we'll get into a little later. Welcome, Luke.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. That was so nice.
Well, we got a sneak peek of your companion there. You,
Yeah, yeah, he's that's my boy.
hmm
That's what I get to come home to.
what's his name?
His name is Sirius.
Serious?
Yeah, he has a resting bitch face like me. So um I call him Sirius.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I can't say that I've had that heard that name before for a pet, but that's cool. So, yeah. So when I was researching or looking into your many and activities, we know that you have been in a lot of verticals. But before that, you also have a lot of stage experience, and so one of the things that we like to learn about is how you learned about verticals. How did you even find out about them?
Yeah, great question. I get this a lot. I had just finished my degree back in New York, which is where I'm from, and I just moved out to LA in that January of that year, um, and it was about like June, I would say, and I was honestly just trying to make ends meet, working at two different restaurants. And then I got a text from my friend who was like, "Hey, like, I don't know if you like do film or anything or like mess around with like soap opera type projects." But um, I had worked with him at a haunted house for about 10 years back in New York. Uh, and he was like, do you still do like prosthetics? We need like a werewolf guy for this vertical." And I was like, "This what?" I was like, "What the heck is that?" Yeah, so I showed up and I was a day player and I was like an infected wolf. And
Oh,
oh my god, why can I not remember what it's called? It's actually it was a pretty famous vertical at the time, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was.
maybe
It had
someone in the chat room remembers.
maybe.
We found the chat room sometimes is very helpful for things like
right. Mm-hmm.
It's like my infected. Uh, Dude, yeah, I can't remember, but it was with Christine K. Larson, a lovely, lovely lady, and it was the start of something that I was not expecting to
Mm-hmm.
just take off, and I literally found myself unbelievably busy after that, just booking more than day player, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I actually ever went back to day player, which is funny. But I'm actually looking this up because I can't go on. Where is it? It's called.
Oh, I would like to thank Justin for answering a question that was in the chat room that I was going to get to. But thank you, Justin.
It's called My Surrogate for the President Alpha.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
pretty crazy.
so you're from New York City proper, um, Manhattan, Queens. I'm from New York. I was born and raised in New York. That's
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, I was born on Long Island.
Long Island.
And I spent a lot of my time in Manhattan, so I say I'm from Manhattan.
I know that trick.
You can say nobody knows. Nobody even knows about Long Island. It's a rite of passage. It's fine.
Right.
But yeah, no, I spent most of my time like uh, going on auditions, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much 24/7. Just taking the train into the city.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we could talk for a long time about life
Yeah,
in
so many
on Long
stories.
Island, which I'm from Queens, so yeah.
That's
But Michael, did you want to
yeah.
Yeah,
tell?
I'm going to get. We've got. Justin had a saying on a scale from 1 to 10 being 1 not at all, 10 being you are that person. How much do you relate to Alex Wilson? Justin did this to our guest the other day too.
Oh my god. Um yeah, I mean that character in specific is very probably not a lot. If
So you do say 1 or -5. See, I'll even let you go that way.
maybe like uh maybe like 2 or
2.
1, cuz like there was this scene where Noemi's character, great actress, amazing person. I had just like threatened her profusely and was like, I'm gonna take back my millions or whatever it was, and then she knees me in the private area, and
Mhm.
I could probably relate to that because it has happened accidentally. Not a great feeling, and it's honestly horrific, and you just can't breathe. But yeah, no, so much, such a fun character. It really was. We didn't really know what we were gonna get into there with that one because it was still we shot that in October, so I feel like the vertical space was still kind of unheard of in
Was
the
that last
show.
year or the year? Was that last year or the year before?
No, yeah, it was last year.
Last year.
Yeah, I only started doing these in last July, or
And you
last
have done
June.
almost 20.
I've done over 20.
You've done over 20 because I saw one resume and it said about 19. I guess you've
Mhm.
gotten more since you updated the resume. Oh my
Yeah. Yeah, I think the one the one we're shooting right now is yeah, it's somewhere in the 20s. I think it might be yeah, right around mid 20s.
wow.
Yeah, it's oh, it just it moves so quick. You don't really think, you don't really stop to think about it until like it's already happened. You're like looking back on it, you're just like, this is so many.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
Well, just
Mhm.
so Linda understands what you do, can you tell in your own words what you consider a vertical drama is? We've asked all guests and they all give something different.
Oh, great, yeah. For me, a vertical drama series is uh, a chance to show what you have. I think it's a good I think it's a good place to uh, fold your cards in and see what you're gonna bring to the table. Because these things really they range between 5 to I've had 12-day shoots, 12 hours a day, 1 day break, and you really sit down with everyone who you're working with, and you just take off the mask, and you get to really see who these people are, and who your friends are, and who's going to have an impact on you, and how you're going to pull yourself together to make a final product that quick, especially if you don't know like anyone prior to shooting it. And when you do know someone, it's amazing. Like, and you have such a great time with them because you've worked with them so many other times, and you feel comfortable around them, especially when the script is a little chaotic.
A
Um,
little.
and you really get to explore that, and honestly, like those types of relationships as well, where you've worked together before and you feel so comfortable around them, makes everyone else comfortable as well, and it's really just a beautiful thing. We're starting to create a demographic here where people like me, who are just into LA and just dipping their toes in the water, and even for the people who have been here for way longer than that, are able to find work, and in these very difficult times within the industry, and it's really a safe haven for a lot of young aspiring actors.
Mhm.
Yeah. What? Okay, let me just put it this way. Um, have Since you started verticals, because you were in other things before you were doing verticals, have you found that verticals may have taught you different types of things like fast memorization or something like that you might not have gotten somewhere else? And in fact, because I have been told by a lot of the other actors, if you get 2 takes, you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been able to memorize my lines very quickly. I don't, I, I'm not quite sure what it is. I just, it's easy for me. I, yeah, I think 2 takes. I don't know, man. Like,
Why do they give you 5 takes? Are you
yeah,
special?
well, I think 5 takes is too many. I do. I honestly do. I think two for a master, two for wides, and then two for close-ups. Those setups. I don't think. And honestly, there's a lot of speculation around like how many takes you should get. Honestly, I like the challenge, because it gets me more prepared. I'm gonna have to do more work before I get on set to make sure that those 2 takes look good, and it keeps me sharp and fresh. And I'm always one for a good challenge. Now, if you're getting more than that, maybe a third, or you do it a fourth time. I think if you're doing it a fourth time, something's not right. I think 3 takes, as my mentor would always say, 3 takes and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 takes to get it right. One for just to get it out there, one for director's notes, and then the third one that it's all you. It's up to you to take what the director is saying, and put it in your own words and in your own body, and yeah, I think these verticals have really given me an opportunity to try and express myself in different ways, to try and match that vision that the director has, whether that's I'm raising my voice up to a higher pitch, or on
Yeah.
making some sort of bold gesture, or if he wants to include probably the 30th slap of the vertical. Like, we don't know.
Or 50. Yeah, I know. I have seen. I'm
Well,
going to ask
and
one more
going
question. I'm going to
from
steal one of
because you've
Marsha's, and I
done
know I
on
am.
stage and go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm going to steal one of your questions, Marsha. So there.
Oh,
Marsha and I, just before we got
okay.
online, we were looking at your resume
Yeah.
and what you can do. I'm going to let her do the fun stuff, but I wanted to focus in on how many accents that you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot
Yes, he
listed
did
there.
steal my
See, that's what I'm here for, Marsha. You know that. You know, you stole mine
a
last time.
lot.
So.
A lot.
Yeah, that's I if I can say, I believe that's my staple for being on set. I would say it's more impressions and voices than accents. I did study like dialects and like voice
Mm-hmm.
impressions in college, and when I was in acting school before that. So I've pretty much done it all my life, and I tend to like keep my brain fresh while I'm on set. I tend to do some movie quotes there here and there, and some impressions and some stuff. It's always funny because sometimes it's day one, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, don't do any impressions because they don't know you. It's gonna be weird. They're not ready. So then, I'll cover my mouth and I'll do one, and I'll just surprise everyone because no one knows like who it is.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
now you have to give us one here. Now you've tempted us. Now we need one.
um, okay, okay. Um, let's see. I mean, are you familiar with Family Guy?
Yes.
Okay. So
Oh
there's
no.
there's the there's this character who's in a wheelchair. His name is Joe Swanson. He's a police officer. And he's in a wheelchair. He can't move his legs. So that's kind of the comedic trope. Who is voiced by the amazing Patrick Warburton,
Oh yeah.
who has an
The tick.
iconic low voice. So if you want to close your eyes and picture it, I'd be happy to do it for you.
Okay.
All right. Hey Peter, Bonnie made you a fruitcake last week and you didn't eat it. What the fuck is going on?
I asked for it, Michael.
You did, Marsha. You're off my list now, Marsha.
Oh,
Well,
Oh,
just because she did that to you, I'm going to throw up one question that someone asked a while ago,
great.
and I hadn't gotten up to it yet. Pamela K says, Luke, what is your favorite board game? Do you know this person?
Pamela K. No, I don't at
Oh,
all.
okay. I thought she might
I,
know you and she wants you to tell something. So,
no, I have no idea who that is. No, that is my lovely mother.
oh, okay. Okay.
The
Well,
key to my
hey, mothers give worse questions than that, so be
Oh
glad
no,
that
and I
that's
know exactly what she wants, and I'm gonna give her what she wants.
what
But
she wants. Okay.
I will say she is the key to all of this. She has been the most supportive person um in my life, and yeah, I definitely could not be in this chair like with this cat doing this stuff without her. So my favorite board game is Monopoly, and I'm very
Mhm.
good at it. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a square on the Monopoly board that says free parking, right? And apparently in like the 1980s or whatever, there was this rule where if because the money that you give the bank, right? And it's like, oh, pay $50 fine, and you put the money in the middle of the board. And like if you land on free parking, you get that money that's in the middle of the board.
I played like that. I know.
So this wasn't established when we played. All right, she didn't say that it was a rule. So I was like, you don't like that's not your money. That's the government's money. You can't just steal the government's money. That's tax fraud.
No
Like, what are we
comment.
doing?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm very, very competitive. I'm a very competitive person. I love to fight. And I love to win, and especially at that game.
Well, talking about fighting, I also noticed that you do combat. You like to do combat stuff, and I saw some of your tapes and things. So, what is an advanced actor combatant? What does that mean?
Yeah. So an advanced actor combatant is someone who is tested and certified by the SAFD, the Society of American Fight Directors. Very, very prestigious, and
Hmm.
you're tested in 6 or more weapons. Tested and certified. Yes, I did a lot of fighting in college. I was like, where do I put my anger? I was like, put it into my fighting. And no, in all honesty, I started with just hand to hand combat, and I found a real passion for it. I studied and also mentored under the his name is Steve Vaughn, a legend among that community in those circles. I've actually told some stunt coordinators here in LA, and they actually know of him, and it's really great because he's a very wise man, and he taught me a lot, and I'll never forget it. I love fighting. I try and do as many verticals as I can when I get the script and I'm looking for those fight scenes. I am. I'm like, what is happening, and how can we make this as complicated as we can? Because you want to watch a fun action sequence.
Well, when you're not doing that, I also saw unicycle.
Unicycle.
I saw something on unicycle that it was a skill. Wow, where I saw
If
that.
it, if it, if I did, I would surprise myself because I don't think I've ever actually gotten on a
Well,
unicycle.
yeah, I was just like that was kind of a weird thing. So I mean, it's physical characteristics. Yeah, it's under that on one of your things. So cycling,
Hmm.
unicycle, figure skating. I'm going like this doesn't seem right.
Oh, uh, like on Actors Access?
Something, yeah.
Oh, oh. I mean, I might have. Oh wait,
You
yeah,
might have
yeah.
hit the wrong
Unicycle.
Somebody's
button.
Yeah,
been
I'm really
busy.
good at that. I'm really, I'm really good at that. That's probably my best skill ever. So
That's what I thought. Okay.
please hire me to be a unicyclist.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I know, because actually we tried to have a unicyclist on the show before, and they were too busy. So it was like,
Well, yeah, they're
okay,
cycling around. They don't
that's
have time to
right.
stop at a
That's
computer.
right. So it's like, oh well, what can you do? What can you do?
Oh my gosh.
But is there okay when you're not trying out for a new vertical and you're not having quality time with your cat? What do you like to do?
um, yeah, I love watching movies. It seems kind of niche because I'm an actor, but I probably watch a new movie every night when I
Really?
can. Yeah, I've seen a lot of films, a lot of older things, because I'm a sucker for anything that's pre 20 or 2000, honestly. And I just it's part like entertainment. Like I love horror. I love like old horror movies because they're just like absolutely terrible. But it's also, I'm just like sort of looking at these characters and really trying to understand how to like flip between them, because I want to, I want to be. I think right in the beginning we said versatile, and I was like, oh my gosh. Um, I got shy for a moment.
Aw.
I want to, flip between these characters and have that sort of range. So I really like just, laying in bed and studying. That's really what I'm doing is studying and enjoying the art that I'm watching. Yeah.
I'll steal one more question from Marcia, and then I'm going to let her have free reign for a
You
little.
are a thief,
Oh,
my
listen,
friend.
we do it all the
He
time.
is.
All the time. I'm the boss, so I can do that a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Just on this show, but you know.
and then you go on the other show and you
Then I go on the
literally-
other show and I'm a little peon, so it's like, oh well. But I try not to do the other shows as much anymore now since I've got power.
Yeah.
So.
You don't get a face cam anymore. No.
No, I know that. Hey, that's a whole other story we'll talk about. Who was not on a face cam for a while, but we won't mention any names.
No, we won't.
No,
We don't need to.
We won't mention
Jeremy.
Any names. Now, Luke, when do you prefer playing a good guy in the vertical dramas or a bad guy? Or do you like being in the background so you don't need to do anything and you can pretend to be both at the same time and people don't know what the heck you are all about?
If my facial expression didn't answer your question.
It did. Yes. But the people that are just listening,
Yeah.
you need to explain it because
they did not
that are listening to the podcast without watching it. So we've learned
they did not catch that.
No.
Yeah, I play a lot of villains.
Yeah.
I do. It's because I have resting bitch face. No, in all honesty, the villain characters are just a lot more. You can play around with them a lot more. I feel like the lead characters, which I have played before, hasn't come out yet. I'm not allowed to say anything, but
And don't say NDAs.
It will come.
We understand NDAs. So.
It will come. It's coming. Me as the good guy, but it's definitely more playable. Like I have a lot more freedom to do what I want. And especially when I was in college, I did a lot of commedia and a lot of physical comedy, and I studied clown with my professor. So I was able to explore like these sort of dark depths of physical comedy and verbal comedy that a lot of people don't get to experience, unfortunately, unless they take a class. And I was lucky enough to be able to take this experience. And after I learned like all these things about clowning and being someone else, it's just you can't go back. Personally, I do love playing the villain. I just wish that in these verticals, there's only been a handful of verticals that the villain has been involved in every day of shooting. I wish that there were more verticals where it's two two guys after the co-star lead, just so that there's that conflict between the two rivals, because I want the villain to be like more involved in the story and not just there for the the opposite end of the spectrum plot, I guess. Yeah.
No, I see your point on that because I think it'll just have, excuse me, the writers are going to have to make some changes. So.
Oh yeah. the vertical that I wrote,
Hmm.
it was really interesting because I had to because I wanted to incorporate that. So I really had, it was almost like a triangle love, but it never matched up. It was always hidden. It was always a hit or miss, and it just kept boiling up until the final scene. Um, so on that end, I'm myself, because I am also a writer. So I'm trying to figure out myself how to create something like that, and save space for a character who um, maybe doesn't have the best intentions, and bring that to light, and maybe get some ideas for some other people as well.
Last thing I'm going to throw up, and then Marcia, I promise you get
Hmm.
some free reign. I think you kind of answered this at the beginning, but Edward might have come a little late. How did you get started in acting?
Yeah, so this is another I don't know if my mother is still in the chat, but
Oh, so
she'll be.
you don't want her to be? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
I'm just saying she'll twist my arm if I tell it wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, that's fine. We need some drama, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was very young. I think I was probably like 9 or 10. And I was doing like sports, because I grew up in a very prestigious town, and I was a young lad, and my father was like, "You need to do sports," and I was like, "Okay, Dad." And so I'm doing all these sports, and my mother was like, "You should take some acting classes at this acting school that's nearby." And I really wasn't really into it. Um, I just like wanted to focus on one thing, and just give that my all. But excuse me. I went to this acting class. I'll never forget it. It was an improv class, improvisation, with her name was Amy Washnick, and I was literally probably the skinniest kid there, the skinniest and palest kid there, and I was so shy. Um, and I was just able to really explore myself, and see what I had to offer, because I didn't even know. I was 9 or 10, and just like the exercises we did, and the learning curves that we were shown by this teacher. It was really a groundbreaking moment. And the class ended, and my mother was outside waiting for me, and she was like, "Yeah, how was that?" And I was like, "We're going back, right?" And the rest is history.
Okay, Marcia, let her rip.
Oh, well, two things. One about acting and New York. I tell people it's almost a requirement that everybody who lives in New York take at least one acting class. I mean, and I remember one that I took, and we were in it was in the village somewhere, and it's
Oh,
in a
cool.
darkened room, and the teacher tells us everybody lie down on the floor and choose an animal, and you become that animal. So we're thinking about what animal we are, and then you take that animal and you think about what it feels like, what does it sound like, and then eventually she said to bring that up, standing to a human person.
Yeah.
How would that person talk? How would that animal talk as a person? And although I didn't become an actor, it still is something that stays with me as an exercise for freedom, freeing your kind of inner self. It was fun.
Yeah.
So, mhm. And when you were talking about how you watch a lot of older films and you're into horror and stuff like that, a film came to mind, The Thing, the original Thing, and I was imagining you absorbing all this information, all these characters, and letting them come out when you need them.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
have you seen The Thing?
Of
The
course, yes. Great movie.
Mhm.
That is an interesting topic. I feel like I haven't spoken about in a very long time. Yeah, I have done animal exercises. It goes hand in hand with Cohen movement. If anyone's familiar, it's a lot of body movements getting into your body, and different types of like movement with your arms, and you're very pointed with your directions and things like that. And we would actually take a week, and um, we would lay down on the ground, and we would uh, simulate like we would start like in the fetal position, and we would be born,
Yeah.
and we would be an infant for hours. We spent a whole week on this, so 3 hours a day, and we come in and go right back right to where we were, and we went all the way up till toddler, adolescent, and then adult. And similarly to the animal experience,
Mm-hmm.
it really is changing, because it's on one side where you have to embody the animal, sure. But for a lot of I feel like for a lot of young actors nowadays, it's really hard to tap into that sort of demographic where you just have to let go. It's very hard, especially after COVID. It's very hard for people to let go and just do the thing. So I feel like that's half the battle, was just, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm doing my own thing, and this is what my animal's going to be. You know, and it really was a beautiful thing. I feel like personally, I never really had that problem of I'm worried about what people are going to be thinking of me. So I was able to accept that pretty quickly, and of course, the first time, it's pick an animal, um, and it's a little silly, of course, at
Mm-hmm.
first, but
Mm-hmm.
once you find the purpose in it for yourself, I feel like you're really able to find some really really nice uh, things in yourself, where you can explore them in your physical body. If you're a giraffe, or some sort of marmite or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when you move from the wider spaces of theater, and then you came into the narrower focus of a vertical field, how were you able to pull that in so that your performance is here rather than?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I sort of unknowingly did myself a service. The last few years that I studied, I really took uh, I really took it into the throat, and how I can control and manipulate my throat so I can sound like this.
Hmm.
I had to hit it. I had to hit you with it one more time, just a surprise.
Thank you.
It, and and sort of manipulating the space that you're holding in your throat to speak, and so when I got out here, and I found myself in the vertical space, these types of notes that these directors are giving, whether they be a character note, or some sort of physical attribute that you need to acquire to get the point across for the character. I found it surprisingly easy, because
Hmm.
I'd get a note like, hey, we need like a lot more energy here, and it's like, okay, I just raise my voice and I make it extravagant, or whatever the character is, and or maybe it's like super deep and dark and down low, something like that. And I found it surprisingly easy, and I'm glad that I'm able to provide what this these directors are looking for to make, excuse me, this what this vertical should be.
Mm. But before Michael gets away again, I wanted to talk about you and your fans because
My fans, I have
yeah,
fans.
Yeah, got
yeah,
two.
Oh my
Oh, three,
god.
you
three.
you
Sorry, your mom.
because relationships with fans are special, of course, and we have so much in social media and things like that. So now that your fans are becoming more accessible, and how do you like to work with your fandom?
Yeah. I know there's some fan accounts. I don't think I have one personally, but it's really amazing to see the community for this, where it stretches out past actors and the eternal structure of these vertical industry, and everyone involved, and it's just these people who really cherish these soap operas, and really love to see more and see where it's going. Oh God, I think it's called Vertical Drama Love. Is
Yes.
is one, especially for the the Vertical Awards.
Hmm.
Um, During my nomination, I was nominated for Best Villain. Surprise, surprise. And I really got to work, hand in hand, uh, coming out with this sort of expose of who I am and what I'm doing here and what I'm trying to do. I've also had many conversations with some other accounts as well, doing informal interviews, and sort of getting my information out there, and just it's just for the people to know that these vertical actors are human too, man. We're all in it together, whether you're operating a fan account, or you're the actor, or you're the director, or the first AD. We're all making the same thing here, and I feel like we all have the same goal, which is really beautiful to see.
Hmm. And
Are
so,
you
can
going
I
to
do
let
one
me
more?
have something, or are you going to go for it, Marcia?
Well, you also sing. I
Oh
heard some of you.
God.
Les Mis is a very popular. It's one of the the
Oh
things.
God.
Well, it
Didn't
was
expect this,
good.
did
He
you,
was good.
Luke?
No, no, I didn't. Because I know there's circulating clips on YouTube of that show.
Hmm.
I pray you didn't find it. Good God.
Which you love.
It was a very fun show. It was a very fun show.
Hmm.
I was extremely young. I didn't know what
Didn't know what you were in for, or
No, I mean, back then I did, but I look back on it now and it's like,
Hmm.
questionable. But yeah, yeah, I did musical theater for quite a while. Definitely a good few years there. Just learning how to sing, and I love singing. I'm not ashamed. I love singing. It's great.
and
Yeah,
you're a
but
tenor.
there's really no outlet here for it, though, unfortunately,
Hmm.
because these verticals, they take up a lot of time. So it's especially when something pops up, and I come across it, I would know that I would have to take a lot of time off to do that, and kind of step back into that space. And honestly, I don't know if I could. It's been a while. I'm definitely very rusty. Oh boy.
But you've also done Shakespeare. I think you did Mercutio and. Romeo and Juliet, and so
Yeah.
so you've got that classical as well. See,
Yeah. I am a threat for sure. I that's probably my favorite part of myself, honestly. I love doing Shakespeare. We actually went to a location. It was called Grey Cliff in Western New York, and we basically it was a mansion, right, or some sort of villa right on the water on the bay, and on the other side of the bay was the Canada, and we were able to perform Romeo and Juliet in the house, basically, like in the villa. We were in the backyard. We were able to go up on the balcony, and it was just such a fun experience. I love Shakespeare so much, and sometimes during these verticals, I'm like, there should be there should be a Shakespeare vertical. I'm not sure if anyone will watch it, but I would. And yeah, just
You
like
made the musical
yeah, musical vertical as well. Oh,
and Shakespeare all combined.
that would be
Musical
something.
Shakespeare.
Musical Shakespeare. Yeah, I'm not sure if the market's there for it though. I don't know.
but
I think
verticals are
Marcia and I would
progressing
look at
so
it.
quickly. They're moving and
I know.
morphing.
It's terrifying. I'm
Yeah.
scared.
Hmm.
Because you're
Yeah,
going to be
right.
put in one of the new horror
You're
verticals.
energized.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I would love to be in a horror vertical. That sounds so much fun. Yeah, no, it's definitely not what it was a year ago. I feel like I feel like it's not a secret anymore. Everyone's out for blood. Everyone's in it to win it, and it's really great to see the passion behind a lot of people's performances, and I feel like we're getting very fine knit now, and they're finally allowing a lot of different variety for these projects, because man, there was a real trope going with these, and it was a lot of the same thing, and I'm really
Billionaire, billionaire, billionaire,
yeah,
billionaire.
CEO werewolf,
Mhm.
tycoon, and I love when something comes across my desk and it's something that's not a billionaire, or it's a billionaire but it's like some sort of specific circumstance, and I can really like resonate with the character and things like that. And I really want to push in that direction, I think, because there's a lot more play there. I feel like if we keep trying to reinvent the wheel, we're just gonna not move at all. And I think if we keep pushing towards like these more extravagant verticals, that is a risk, right?
Yeah.
Everything comes with a risk, and it might be a more high profile risk to put down money towards something that may not even hit. I think that's more progressive than just keep doing the same thing and not really exploring how far can we go with this, like what is this going to branch off into.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised the other day when we had somebody on and they said, um, oh boy, that just came. Uh, they said that there were about 20 companies, apps out there doing verticals. I thought there was less than 10.
No, there's way
And
more than
I
20 now.
know, I know. And I was just like, wow. I was very shocked. And
There's
I'm going to,
so
this is,
many.
yeah. And this is the last question I'm going to throw up. Who was, from Edward, who was the first actor you met in the vertical space? And
Oh
was it
my
a group
god.
of people or was it just one?
Yeah, let's see, I think it might have been, oh my gosh, I'm trying to because I definitely met someone and I don't remember their name. um I'm actually yeah, I'll go with that. I think it was my first like villain role on a vertical. It was actually super funny because it was with Casey Esser and Kirby Elwood.
Had both of them on our show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're great. Casey's a great friend. Um, his production company, uh, he made his own vertical, and his production company produced it. And I was also the villain on that. We've worked together quite a few times. Kirby's also a great friend as well. She was the first person I met, I think, like really met on a vertical. And yes, she's such a sweetheart. She's a very driven, passionate lady, and really a fantastic actor. This vertical is called Flash Vows, and it's super old. Like if you're in the market for like a super niche like CEO vertical, like classic, like it's like a golden era classic vertical. I highly recommend it. It's good. Like the writing, it was sort of like before everyone was like, this writing is special. Like it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. The two characters, the lead guy who was Casey, his name was Robert Robert Johnson, and the female lead was in the market to marry someone, um, to like raise their child or something, and so she had an appointment to meet Bob Johnson, my character, who was this like weird, disgusting, like sweaty mess, and she just happens to run into Robert Johnson instead, and then they go off. So the entire vertical is just like me chasing them, and then I finally catch up to them, and fighting ensues.
Which you like. So
Oh, of course, yes, love it.
that's what you like. Well, Marsha, I'm going to go ahead. Do you have a final question for Luke? Because I don't want to keep him any longer. It's almost been an hour. So,
Well, I have a visual picture of Luke doing a swashbuckling vertical with your sword play, coming in on a chandelier, swinging in on a chandelier, and all kinds of amazing things. I think that I can't wait to see what you progress to, and what your energy is just infectious and amazing. And I just want to
it
thank you
is.
for
Of
being with
course.
us.
Thank you for having me. I was
Oh,
like, what vertical are you talking about? Did I like trip? What's
This
that
is
going
one
on?
that's coming in your future, I think.
yeah. It
Oh
might be in
yeah.
your mailbox right now. Who knows?
Yeah, wait, hold on, let me check here. No. Oh yeah, look at that. My CEO pirate swings me into heaven or whatever.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect title.
Oh,
Yeah. That would get some saying, what? Ooh, I got to watch that. Yeah.
he's a pirate? Okay. We're in.
Yeah. We're in. Yeah. There you go. And I'd like to thank you for coming, Luke. It's been very exciting and fun. And sorry about the
Mhm.
little craziness at the beginning, but
No, absolutely
yeah, but
not.
it was
Yeah,
that's what
it's
happens live. It's like I go, wait a minute, what do you mean I'm live?
technology, man. It's okay. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, as I said, we're glad you came, and we're glad, and people in the chat room, his webpage and his Instagram account are up there scrolling by. If you miss it and you go, "Blah, blah, 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 you didn't have that," just go to ndbmedia.net under live videos and under Talented Universe, and you will see it all listed, and you can just click it. So that makes it nice. So
Look at that.
ndbmedia.net. So there you go. And let me just before we go, we've got a couple of guests coming up, and I just had it up and then it disappeared on me. Here we go. Those that are Librarians fans, tomorrow we have Sandra Mitrovich, that was the director of episode 2 of the new Librarians, the next chapter. She will be with us at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And on Tuesday, we have another vertical actor, Aaron Obrest, at 2 p.m. Eastern. And on Monday, the 16th, we have a double feature. We have Jace Nielsen and Shanna Sinau they're going to join us.
Oh,
So
great
you know them?
vertical actors.
Yeah. So that's what we've got coming up, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming. And Edward says ARG. Oh, that's because of your new role. Yes. So that's a good way to end on this new swashbuckling vertical that Marcia is going to write for you.
I'm in.
Awesome.
So, everyone, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.